The moon. The toy promised by my mother once I finished all my rice. A marvel for every child on earth, shines brightly in the night sky, illuminating the darkness. It's often likened to the size of a football when seen from Earth. In relation to Earth, it's about a quarter of its size. Even if we were to calculate the total surface area of the moon, it would remain smaller than the landmass of our Asian continent. The moon's gravity is only 1/6 that of Earth. That is, a person who weighs 60 kilograms on Earth will weigh less than 10 kilograms when he reaches the moon. That is why lunar travelers can fly and walk on the surface of the moon. A person who can jump 10 feet on Earth can jump 60 feet on the moon. The Earth has 80 times the mass of the moon. Our moon is fifth in size compared to the moons of other planets in the solar system. In terms of density, our moon is second only to Jupiter's moon Io. The moon has a very thin exosphere, which is a very tenuous and faint layer of gases. Compared to Earth's atmosphere, it's nothing at all. Therefore, there is no air, clouds or weather on the moon. The footprints left by Apollo astronauts on the moon's surface will likely remain there for millions of years due to the lack of wind and water erosion. Since there is no air in the moon's atmosphere, there is no sound propagation. It means that, even if you talk face to face from the moon, you cannot hear each other. The moon does not have an atmosphere due to its small size and lack of gravity or magnetic field capable of holding the atmosphere. Even if a small amount of atmosphere is formed, it will be swept away by the solar wind from the blazing sun. Due to the lack of atmosphere, the moon is very different from the Earth. The color of the sky is always black when seen from the moon. Since there is no atmosphere, the sun's radiation reaches the moon in its intense intensity. Because of this, the moon's surface is baked at a temperature of 127 degrees Celsius during the day, but at night it freezes to -173 degrees Celsius. There are many theories about how the moon was formed. The most authoritative and globally accepted theory is the giant impact theory. According to this theory, about 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object named Theia collided with Earth, and debris from the violent collision got caught in Earth's gravitational field and began orbiting the Earth. This is the moon we see today. It is also said that this collision is the cause of the Earth's tilt of 23.5 degrees. This inclination is the reason why no region of the Earth receives intense heat from the sun, and why the Earth has seasons. The moon was formed 2 to 3 billion years after the formation of the Earth. The age of the Earth and the moon is about 450 to 460 billion years. We were able to reach such conclusions based on the material collected from the lunar surface. As more evidence becomes available in the coming years, more valid theories may emerge. The moon's surface is 20% magnesium, 20% silicon, and 10% iron. But another interesting fact is that the most abundant element there is oxygen. 46% of lunar surface is covered with oxygen. But this oxygen is not present in gaseous form. It is present in oxide form along with elements like magnesium, silicon, and iron. We know that the moon does not shine by itself. Sunlight takes 500 seconds to reach the Earth, but it only takes a second and a half for the reflected sunlight from the moon's surface to reach the Earth. The moon rotates on its own axis. But we can see only one side of the moon from Earth. The cause of this is the Earth itself. The moon's rotation is slowed down by the Earth's gravity. Over time, the time taken by the moon to rotate itself and to rotate around the Earth became the same. So only one side of the moon is forever locked with the Earth. This is called tidal lock. The moon takes 27 days, 7 hours and 43 minutes to orbit the Earth. But it takes 29 days, 12 hours and 44 minutes to rotate itself. This means that after one new moon, the next new moon takes about 30 days. That is why a month is 30 days in our calendar. Many life forms on Earth are associated with the lunar month. The moon plays a major role in determining when animals reproduce and birds when they migrate. As far as humans are concerned, the moon is present in the flags of many countries, religions, and gods. Many literatures describe the beauty of the moon. In 1959, Soviet Union launched Luna 1, which is the first spacecraft to fly to the moon. But it couldn't make up to the moon. The first human-made object to reach the moon was the Soviet spacecraft Luna 2 in the same year. But the Soviet Union had no plans to rest. Luna 3 was the third Soviet space probe to be sent to the neighborhood of the moon. It was the first mission to photograph the far side of the moon. The first spacecraft to soft land successfully on the moon is Soviet Union's Luna 9 in 1966. Not just that, in the same year, they launched Luna 10, which is the first spacecraft to orbit the moon. On September 1968, the Soviet Union had launched Zond 5. The first animals to orbit the moon and return to Earth were two Russian tortoises. These tortoises were launched with plants, seeds, and bacteria. After 7 days, it returned back to Earth by falling onto the Indian Ocean. The Soviet Union was literally ruling the moon. But in 1968, USA ended Soviet Union's monopoly with Apollo 8, which is the first crewed mission to the moon. It completed 10 orbits of the moon before returning to Earth with an engine burn and landed in the Pacific Ocean, and they returned home safe. The moon's Earthrise was famously captured by the Apollo 8 mission in 1968, showing Earth rising over the lunar horizon. The Earth in the moon sky, however, does not rise or set. It remains almost stationary, except for a small looping movement, due to the moon's libration. Depending on the viewer's location on the moon, the Earth is either not visible at all, or always positioned somewhere between close to the horizon and high in the sky. In the very next year, USA launched Apollo 11, which successfully completed the first crewed landing on the moon. On 20th July 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step onto the lunar surface during NASA's Apollo 11 mission. His iconic words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," marked a historic achievement in space exploration and a defining moment for humanity's quest for the space secrets. They spent 2.5 days in lunar orbit and literally enjoyed the time on the moon. After circling the moon 31 times and a flight of 8 days and 3 hours, the crew safely landed in the Pacific Ocean on the southwest of Hawaii. From 1969 to 1972, 12 American astronauts have landed on the moon, and till date, no other country could achieve the man-on-moon mission even once. In 2008, India launched its first moon mission, Chandrayaan-1, and became the first to impact the lunar South Pole and the fifth nation to reach the lunar surface after USA, USSR, Japan, and European Union. Chandrayaan-1 discovered the presence of water on Moon. It found frozen water deposits in the Moon's polar regions. Although communication with the spacecraft was lost in 2009, it achieved 95% of its objectives. In 2019, China's Chang'e 4 became the first spacecraft to soft land on the far side of the Moon. The mission aims to study the lunar surface, geology, and cosmic radiation, advancing our understanding of the Moon's history and the universe. In the same year, the lander of India's second moon mission, Chandrayaan-2, was separated from orbiter but crashed during a landing attempt, attributed to a software glitch. Both lander and rover were lost. Orbiter remained operational. On 23 August 2023, India's Chandrayaan-3 became the first spacecraft to soft land near the lunar South Pole. India is the only country to reach this part of the Moon so far. To mark this great technological success, National Space Day will be celebrated each year on 23 August. What if there was no Moon? Tides occur daily in the ocean due to the gravitational pull of the Moon. Without the Moon, we won't have the tides. In this way, as stated in the theory of evolution, changes would have occurred in terms of sea creatures entering the land, and biological evolution on Earth would have been in a different way. It is the pull of the Moon's gravity on the Earth that holds our planet in place. Without the Moon stabilizing our tilt, it is possible that the Earth's tilt could vary wildly. It would move from no tilt, which means no seasons, to a large tilt, which means extreme weather and even ice ages. The moon makes the Earth not wobble too much. Because of the moon, the Earth takes 24 hours to rotate itself. Without the moon, day and night would alternate on Earth in mere hours. All the meteors and asteroids that pass by the Earth in space collide with the moon. This is why craters like this form on the moon's surface. They fall to the moon due to the gravitational pull of the moon. Without the moon, they would have fallen to Earth and caused more damage. Without the moon, Earth's nights would be dark. It can affect animals, plants, and humans. If we wouldn't have a moon, we probably wouldn't have heard the name Neil Armstrong. Without the moon, India would not have launched Chandrayaan. But even without the moon, our mothers would have fed their children. Because today's kids are more fascinated with the mobile phone than the moon. Thanks for watching.